All right, I met with Koy and his mom this morning to find out exactly what happened, and his brother was also in there. We do everything to support Koy and his family. Many of you read my statement last night. There's no place in America for racism or social injustice. I want to thank Chief Murphy Paul for acting quickly and investigating this. Is what I've heard. The 3 officers involved were put on paid administrative leave, and obviously we're going to let them handle everything with Koy, and I expect the best thing will come out. Some of you may have heard we're dealing with COVID and contact tracing. Can't go into detail. It's a very fluid situation. I can tell you that we do have players that have got COVID, and we do have some players that are quarantined. I can't tell you the numbers. I'm going to let the doctors take care of all that. We're focused on playing Alabama on Saturday night. It'll be a great challenge for us. A great team, great offense, offensive line, Nigeria Harris, Devontae Smith, Mac Jones doing a tremendous job. Steve Sarkisian is doing a great job as being the offensive coordinator. A very, very explosive offense. It'll be a big challenge, but we're ready, man. This is LSU, Alabama. It'll be a great week of preparation. We got a good start on them last week. The guys are rested. They got Friday and Saturday and Sunday off, and today is going to be Tell the Truth Monday, and we're going to get after it. Any questions?
Hey Ed, I know you probably said, all you can say about specifics with the quarantine players, but I mean, are there any starters that might be impacted about this? I mean, any people that are, you'll have to face on Alabama with this?
Say it again now. What was your question?
You said some players with COVID. Any potential starters missing for Saturday?
Oh, sure, always, yeah. With the people that are in quarantine and COVID, yeah, there's always going to be starters. Yeah, there's starters involved.
Is the numbers high enough to consider near the part where you'd appeal to the SEC for, I don't know, postponement or anything like that?
I let the doctors and Scott Woodward all handle all that stuff. Those things, those numbers and stuff are very fluid right now. And right now we're planning to play Alabama.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, good morning.
What's up, Jock?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
Good.
Good. Coach, usually this is the most exciting week of the year, right? I mean, everyone's going to use their ticket, the restaurants and the hotels are packed, and college game days coming to town, and really there's probably going to be very little of that this week. I'm just wondering what you're going to be thinking when you run onto the field and there's really nobody there.
Well, I'm going to be excited to play Alabama. I know that. And I know what this game means to the university, to our football team, the alumni, to the state of Louisiana. It's our biggest rivalry. It's a great challenge, obviously. Alabama's a great team. So we're going to be fired up, ready to play.
Can I speak now? Hi, Coach.
Hello.
Just to go back to Koy Moore really quick, I know you can't say much, but he made a claim that as soon as BRPD found out that he was an LSU football player, they sort of just backed off. What do you have to say about that, if anything?
I can't comment on all that. I got to let the investigation take its place.
Sorry. Hey, Coach. I'm just wondering, given the departures you guys have had to deal with, the NFL, the opt-outs, and COVID, have you ever experienced anything like this in terms of the challenge of roster management?
No. Was at USC when I took over for Lane. We was on probation, and I think we had, I don't remember quite the number, but we're around 55. That's where I learned how to practice like in the NFL. So it worked well with us. I remember we beat Stanford, number 4 team in the country, and we only used 12 players on defense. So I've been through it a little bit like that, not to the extent and as fluid as it is right now, because with the COVID and opting out, you don't know what's going to happen on a day-to-day basis. Then we had a set number, so it wasn't as fluid.
Considering all of that and the difficulties there and where the team stands today, not being where you guys want in the win-loss record, is there anything more you think you could have done? Anything you look back and say, I could have changed this to put the team in a better situation? Or is it just frankly the situation?
No, always. Look, I put it on myself, always. We got to play better defense. And we're for the most part, we play good offense except against Auburn. We haven't played good defense most of the year. We played good defense against Vanderbilt, and for the most part, we haven't. So I got to take that upon myself.
Hey, Coach. So obviously the bye week, the couple of weeks ago, kind of helped you guys get that extra time to prepare for South Carolina. I'm curious, just on both sides of the ball, how you guys feel like you maybe have addressed some problems, from the Auburn game, and just kind of how you move forward.
We worked very hard. We have a corrections period. This last week was about 20 plays, and really worked hard to walk through and explain how we're going to do things, how we're going to play them, especially on defense. Now on offense, we had a lot of mistakes too. And today we have another corrections period. We're going to keep on correcting the things that are on film, because we know that we're going to see them again.
Coach, Garland Gillen, Fox 8 New Orleans. I got two questions. I'm going to follow up after the first. What's the plan with Miles today? I know you said last week he couldn't finish a practice. How is he doing? And what's the plan for him today?
Miles is out. He's out. He will not be ready for the game.
And the follow-up, is there any talk of just shutting him down for the entire season?
There's some discussion of that. What's best for Miles, the doctors and them are talking to right now, see what's the best for Miles, and we're going to do what's the best for him. Whether it's getting it fixed, getting it operated now, or wait, I think we're still discussing that.
Hey, Ed, seems like you got a lot of things on your plate this week. Just, do you expect to have something finalized in time to get a game plan as far as numbers go, whether you can proceed, and how would you like to approach the quarterback position this week?
Well, it's going to be challenging. Obviously, with the guys that are out and the quarterbacks that we have, well, we may have to put someone else at quarterback just in case. So we have a plan in place. I'm not going to say what we're doing because it'll give away our game plan. And we're going to go ahead. Now, when they tell me, we had a certain number or something like that, we can't play. I think that's up to the league and Scott, and I think that by Wednesday, that should be solidified. But for right now, we're playing Alabama, we're ready to go.
Hey, Ed, I was next, but Cobble and Garland asked both my questions, so I can pass, guys.
All right.
Hey, Ed, obviously, I guess with the Koy Moore situation, I know, I remember back in August or September, you acknowledged this is something you're learning how to handle. I guess just how has the past 2 months, 3 months kind of taught you how to handle a situation like this with Koy?
Yeah, to listen, to be open-minded, to understand that there's some wrongdoings out there, social injustice and racism, and I'm totally against that. And I came out and said it. And I support my players just like I support my sons. I was hurt. I was hurt to hear the things that went on. I'm not happy about it, but I know that Chief is going to do the proper investigation. And I just want the right thing to happen. And from what he told me and stuff like that, I just felt bad. I felt bad that it happened to one of our players.
Hey, Coach, can you hear me?
Yep.
This Alabama football team in particular, a lot of comparisons to your offense last year. Do you see that, and how much does this offense at Alabama remind you of last year's team offensively that you had?
A little different, but they're putting up the same numbers. Great players, quarterback's doing a great job, got a great offensive coordinator, great plan. They're running the football well with Najee Harris. The play action pass, the shots, the deep balls. It's different from us. We were more of a spread team last year, and they're not as much as a spread team as we were last year, but very similar in the numbers and very effective.
Hey, Coach, I'm told Mike Anderson says you're winning 35-28, so we've got you in the win column this week for the game. Is it a case you're starting a true freshman quarterback? Is just a case just let it rip? Let's just go out and just
Yeah.
Just have fun. Or,
Yeah, it's about LSU, man. It's always going to be about LSU. It's not about our opponent. We got a lot of things we got to get better, man. We're trying to shore up stuff every day. Alabama's going to be a big challenge for us, but you know what? We're ready to play. We're going to be physically ready to play. We got to match their physicality. It's going to be a fun night. And, yeah, let it rip.
Coach, you always try to, frank, but you always try to maintain an optimistic outlook. After last season, and I know internally not everything goes right that we were privy to seeing, but it seemed like so many things went right for you last year. Is 2020 just on a whole? How have you maintained a positive outlook when it seems like so many things have gone wrong or gone against you this year?
You know, I promised myself, Scott, when I got the job at the head coach at Louisiana State University, I wasn't going to have a bad day. I'm going to come to work. I'm the head coach at LSU, man. That's something I wanted to do all my life. Things are going to happen. Adversity is going to hit, but I'm going to stay positive because I want my team to know that we're building the championship program. That's what I come to work every day to do. You know, we rank number 3 or number 4 in the country right now in recruiting. We'll address some needs in recruiting. The recruits want to come here. We have some great young players. We got some great old players. We just haven't put it all together yet, but I'm optimistic. We got 5 games left. I look forward to playing great football.
Hey, Coach, I know you mentioned last week just kind of how hard the offensive line took that Auburn performance. I mean, I guess just kind of how in the week since and just how have you seen them kind of grow over this last week and just kind of, how do you think you can get the run game going as well this week?
Well, we put in some different stuff. I think some stuff that's going to help our guys, fit our players. I thought the offensive line had a great week of practice, great leadership. They were very physical in practice. We still got a ways to go on some things. We still got some things to shore up. But I thought they took it upon themselves to be out there every day and work hard. We had some outstanding open day practices last Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Hey, Ed, Wilson Alexander from The Advocate. You mentioned recruiting there a second ago. Last year after that Alabama game, you said that winning the game gave y'all a big boost in recruiting. In the years since that game, how much has the results of that last Alabama game and the things that you've done since then helped y'all on the recruiting trail?
I think the overall year, that helped us. The overall year that we had was major in getting this recruiting class. They watched that championship team, how they worked. And Alabama was a big game, no question. But there were other big games too, and national championship and stuff like that. So I think the system, I think the players, I think the development of the players. Now you look at the NFL, our guys are having a lot of success. They're playing very, very well. And some of those guys came here as 3-stars and developed here into great players. So I think our guys are seeing a combination of all that.
Ed, I know you got a lot of struggles and challenges you're facing right now, and your record isn't where you want it to be. Does that, obviously you try to win every week, I'm not asking that, but do you go about it differently now? Do the way you approach it, does that change? Are you a little freer to maybe experiment more, try something you might not have if you were trying to win a title?
It's always about the LSU standard of performance, and I'm in the fundamental stance, alignment, assignment, putting our players in the best position that we can. Look, we need to coach better. We need to play better. We know that. We got a lot of young guys out there playing for the first time. We got some new coaches on the coaching staff. We got to gel together, but it's up to me. I got to put it all together, and it hasn't worked out yet like we want to, but we got a lot of football left.
Coach Scooter Hobbs, when were you informed of the COVID outbreak?
It started last week, Scooter. Last week that we had, I guess, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. I was told of some guys that had COVID, and it's not the COVID now. We're worried about the guys that are sick and their safety. There's no question, but the numbers are higher with the quarantine, and that's where you get into some low numbers. You put the COVID plus the quarantine. So
just to clarify, everybody that's quarantined has not tested positive or has?
You know, I'm not gonna get into that, Scooter. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get into that. I'll let the doctors get all that stuff, and I won't comment on something I don't know about.
Are they gonna have a press conference?
You got electricity, Scooter?
Oh yeah, we're back there.
All right, man.
Coach, I want to try to pin you down on this. Are both of your freshman quarterbacks available to you?
I can't comment on that right now. We have to see what happens. Like I said, this is a very fluid situation, but I will tell you that we're very thin at that position.
Thank you.
And, you know, back to the recruiting topic, I mean, obviously you had some big recruiting wins recently, and I'm just curious, I guess, walk us through what it's like recruiting during a season where obviously the results on the field aren't what you're hoping, what that dynamic is like, and how the wins kind of can help momentum.
Yeah, you know, the communication. I'll give you an example. Bill Bush, tremendous job. Corey Raymond, Kevin Falk, you know, Mickey Jones, those guys, Christian Lockershore, on the phone all the time with players all over the country, and those guys want to come to LSU, man. We're hot right now in recruiting, and they know the championship team we're building. They understand what we're going through. Everybody goes through adversity, and they like our attitude. I think it comes down to relationships, and this is LSU, man. This is the elite. This is one of the top schools in the country, and people want to be here.
Coach, this is Fletcher Rackle at WDSU in New Orleans. I apologize for asking another quarterback-related question, but you alluded to the fact that you said you may have to play other guys there. Could you potentially shed some light on who that may be? Maybe somebody like Von Rosenberg with a baseball background? Or
He played quarterback last week. He did a good job. But no, Zach is our punter, but you know, he filled in, did some scout team quarterback for us. But you know, we're very thin there. And you know, if I tell you who we're going to move there and stuff like that, it'll give away a game plan, and I can't do that.
You know, Ed, I mean, you've talked about this game in the past about how important this is. I mean, obviously the circumstances are so different. I mean, in a year like this, how will you and I mean the program and everybody kind of see this game and in its context after this, regardless of the outcome?
Yeah, fight. We got to fight like Tigers. We put 11 men on the field and we fight like Tigers. We're playing. This is LSU, Alabama. We ain't blinking. We're going after it.
Coach, this is Josh Sibley with Louisiana Ground Football. It seems like the defense hasn't had any problems getting pressure on the quarterback in previous games, but it has had some issue on outside runs and end arounds.
Yeah.
Have you guys had a chance to go back and look at film and look at that during the bye week?
You know, we went back and looked at all the explosive plays, explosive pass plays, 15 yards or more, explosive runs, 15 yards or more. I watched every one of them with the defensive staff. We knew the problem, but I wanted to come up with a solution. And one of the solutions is setting the edge better. We're not setting the edge better by defense, whether it be force or whether it be a defensive end. We worked on that hard on the off week. I think we got some things solidified. We still got a ways to go with others.
Hey, Coach, if I could, their quarterback, Mack, and the way he's playing, they're saying he throws a deep ball even better than Tua did, and some people are mentioning him in the Heisman Trophy discussion, just the way that he's playing in the offense altogether.
I can see that. The guy's having a tremendous year. You know, somebody asked me to compare him to Joe Burrow, and you know, he may be. I don't know. Hopefully for him that he has a great career. I don't know him as well as Joe. You know, Joe brought a lot of intangibles to us. I'm sure the guy's doing the same thing, and I wish him the best. I think he's a great young man. He has a great coach, and Coach Sarkisian. Not the best against us, obviously, but it's always good to see guys doing well, and the guy's having a great year.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
All right.